Hey everybody, how are you? Today, let's jump right in. I want to talk about a skill, a habit that you can build. This is going to make, in most cases, a lot of cases, a huge difference for dogs that are reactive on walks. And that is the habit and the training method of teaching your dog to check in with you. Plain and simple. A lot of people tend to focus on what to do once the dog is already having the reaction, right? But this tip is going to help you hopefully catch the reaction before it starts, right? Because that's what reactivity training is all about. And honestly, this can help you even if your dog is not reactive. You just want better walks that are less frustrating, right? So this can help you guys as well. So I've got my notes. Forgive me for looking down. I just want to make sure that I touch on everything that I have for you. So what is a check-in? A check-in, plain and simple, is when your dog makes eye contact with you. They choose during some portion of that walk to turn around, make eye contact with you. You didn't ask for it. You didn't, nothing like that, right? At first, I want you to capture this behavior. What that means is that essentially what it sounds like, you're going to capture it in the moment. You're going to mark it. And so your dog will start to learn that that's something that you want. And I'll go into detail about all of that. So the reason you want to do this is because your dog is choosing to engage with you, right? Even though it's just the subtlety of locking eyes or just looking up at you to see what you're doing, right? They are choosing you over the rest of the environment, even if it's for that split second, right? So that's a great thing. That's what you want, because this helps to teach focus, and it will ultimately be a tool that you can use to try to redirect them back to you when they're having a reaction. So when a dog has a reaction, it's typically because they've seen a trigger, they're locked onto their trigger, and now they can't let go of that trigger, and they have this big explosion about that trigger, right? But if you have the habit of your dog checking in with you, you can eventually put it on cue so that if you see your dog about to explode, right, you can ask for that. And we can talk about all of that as well. So when your dog has that habit, it gives you a chance to reward them for being calm, right? So when there's no triggers around and your dog is choosing to check in with you, praise all the time, because it's just a great way to help. When you train calm, when you're able to train calm and reward them for being calm in any moment, that helps them to repeat calm behaviors because they realize that it works for them, right? It gives them your attention. It gives them treats. It gives them praise. It gives them pets. It gives them love. It gives them toys. It gives them good things from you, right? Again, it'll give you a chance to be able to redirect their attention if you need to, and potentially help you move away from the trigger without a big explosion. So it makes you a safe space. It makes you a reference point. It makes you more of like a solid rock for them, right? So to capture the check-in, you're just going to capture it in the moment, right? Go on a walk, just like you normally would. And then you're looking at your dog while you're walking. The moment your dog turns around to look at you, right? If you're wherever they are, off to the side, behind you, in front of you, wherever they are, when they take a minute to look up and see what you're doing, mark it. Use your bridge. That's yes, or good boy, good girl, right? If you use a clicker, that's the clicker. Mark it. Mark that good behavior. And then reward them with a treat or whatever high reinforcement they enjoy, right? A lot of times, most times it's treats and food. Sometimes for some dogs, it's going to be praise and pets. For other dogs, it's going to be toys. So it's just kind of different, but a lot of the time it's treats. So I'm going to use that. So again, they offer it, you mark it. Yes, good boy. Here's your treat, right? And yes, when you capture a behavior, usually it's on accident, right? It's on accident on the dog's part. So they don't even really realize what's happening. And the first few times they're going to be like, I don't know what I did, but I should figure it out because it gives me good things when I do it, whatever it was. And then they start to put it together that, oh, it's every time that I look at her. It's every time I look at him. Oh, and they start to put it together. So you mark it, you like it, they will continue to do it. Now, For those dogs that are so distracted when they go outside, and maybe they're really reactive and they're immediately looking for triggers and they don't check in with you, right? You might be sitting there thinking, that's funny because my dog literally never looks at me when we're out for a walk. That might be true for you. For your case, don't go on a walk. Start training this behavior by either doing it in your house, doing it in your driveway on leash. Do it in your backyard on leash, right? If your dog is super distracted, even in your driveway, if your dog is super distracted, even in your backyard, go in your house. Nice and quiet. No distractions. Get up, move around. As soon as your dog looks at you, mark it. Reward it, right? There's always some place to start. Even when you have to start at the littlest, tiniest baby step, right? Other dogs might be able to walk outside and do this on walks right away. So just know where your dog is at and reward them for the attention when they give it to you. I also want to say that I'm not looking for your dog to ultimately just constantly be staring at you for an entire walk, right? That's not really the point of a walk for a dog. Typically the point is for them to sniff and for them to pee and for them to poop and for them to explore their environment, right? You just want it to be more pleasing for both ends of the leash, right? More enjoyable. So I'm not asking for constant attention. I don't even want it to ultimately go there. I just want you to reward it when your dog offers it, however often that is, especially when you're first starting out, okay? And then eventually when your dog gets better at that, you can put it on cue. And what I mean by that is once your dog is doing it on his own or her own, then you can start saying something so that it prompts that behavior, right? So they already know that you want them to look at you sometimes and that when they do look at you sometimes, they get rewarded for it, right? It gets marked, it gets rewarded. So then once they are, you know that they know that that's something that they get rewarded for, then you can move on to pairing it with some sort of verbal cue, maybe even a visual cue as well, right? Like a, hey, focus, or hey, look at me, right? Some sort of whatever visual cue pops out of your body, whatever verbal cue pops out of your mouth that doesn't matter as much as being consistent, right? Pick one, stick with it. So for me, it might be focus, and maybe with a finger right here. So then when you start saying it and it catches their attention, that's when they start to put it together. That now, oh, that's what she wants. She wants me to look at her when she says that, right? So they're pretty smart. Some dogs are going to catch on faster than others, but usually when the rewards are right and when your timing is right, they catch on really, really quickly. So if you need more help on training that, let me know. Put it in the comments. What are your dog's biggest triggers? Do they already naturally check in with you, or do you think that's going to be something that is going to be hard for your dog? Let me know in the comments. And then if you have any other questions about reactivity or walking or anything else, honestly, that you would like to see in one of these lives, let me know. Put it in the comments or send me a direct message, and I'm happy to address them in future episodes. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.